I'm gonna definitely bring up the word authority and what it might mean to each of us because in my experience over the last, I want to say like 3 weeks, this is popping its way through. And I know for me on a very personal level, it's like regaining my power, staying in my power, but also hitting
Mm.
on authority figures and that feeling that you get when you're like, there's nothing I can do because they're the authority figure.
Mm. My
Oh.
body knows that all too well. My body's like, oh yeah, I'm guilty. Plead guilty. No, it's true. Very true. I feel that. It's
Yeah.
it's 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 not. I'm trying to find the words because it's not a voluntary thing. Like, I am a boss bitch. Let's all just say that. I know this. We know this. However, put me in front of authority. Oh, I'm like a 3-year-old child. Yes, okay. And it blows my mind because I have this strength and power and energy that I know the energy work I do. I mean, I get rid of demons. You know, come on, like what's going on here? And then I get anxiety in an airport. What? Like I have a panic attack walking through an airport. Can someone please explain this to me? You know, it's like that power dynamic really takes over my nervous system. Why do you think that is, Dee? Why do you think it's so involuntary?
Well, I mean, I want to say there's a little bit of a breakdown here that I'm seeing running through there and with my clients as well, is that there's a lot
Hmm.
of stuff going on the left side of the body, the feminine side.
Okay.
So like I feel like there's an integration piece there with this power over situation that we're reclaiming back in ourselves. And at least how I've traversed it, because I've had to deal with this the last little while. It just come up randomly in my reality, and how I've traversed my past experiences, my trauma, all of that,
Yeah.
is how is my nervous system interacting with this? Right.
Mm.
That's been the big pop. Like, how am I still getting triggered by are there layers there? And yes, there are, because I can tell you too, a lot of times, like depending on who it is, somebody might be pulling me over or what the feeling of it is. I can definitely that anxiety definitely like pulls up because of my past in the trafficking, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um
I hear
I
that though.
yeah. And I sit with it and I'm like, oh, okay, how's my nervous system taking this? What is this looking like? And do we have layers and levels in there? And honestly, it was really nice. There's obviously some layers I had to look at, but my nervous system, my body was very clear at saying, you do not take my power though. Like you
Mm.
think that you can have that right now and whatever the case is, but it was very clear that was a reclamation. No, I'm taking it back.
Mm.
You're not going to stop me from being successful, getting out there, doing my work, having
No,
fun.
and I do hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really powerful that you've kind of reclaimed it in that way. Because there is, like you say, when it's been something so multifaceted, you can't expect it to just, right, well, we've done this one layer, we've got to the root of that, it's gone now. I mean, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think
great.
that'd be it. And if anyone can do that, please drop me a DM because I'd love to know how to do that, you know. And don't get me wrong, I can do it on the one code and the one program, but then there's so many layers to that same wound, you know, the onion, right? You get the onion, you can't just do one layer of the onion, you can't do all the layers. And so we're working through all the layers right now of that said onion. And I had a similar experience to you. Mine was in February, and the pulling over for me. I used to have a car years and years ago when I was 17, like 10, 12 years ago now. Well, yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, humbled. Yeah, I had a car that was marked and it used to get pulled over all the time. And I mean, like, I must have got pulled over about 20 times in that car. And that trauma was there. And I thought I'd worked through that. So because I'd not been pulled over in years and I kind of shifted from that fear of like, you know, because I'm not doing anything wrong. But then in your energy, in your brain, you go into this, oh, like, oh, prove I'm not doing anything wrong. And like, you know, I don't know what it is. It just, and maybe the way I'm raised, my areas are very like, there's this divide in my area between the people and the police. And it's not a conscious thing in my mind, but it's there built in your subconscious brain. Like, I wish it was a thought of protection and peace, but it is not, unfortunately, in my personal experience and my personal brain. I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying my instant emotional reaction is not, oh yes, protection. It's fear, you know, instantly. And, you know, I can't deny that it is. And over the years I've worked through it, but then recently I had an experience and wow, the triggers and all of the layers that unraveled from this experience, I was quite shocked at how much was still there after I thought I'd worked through so much. And that was quite revelationary for me. And in the moment, I felt like I definitely held myself, but also after the fact, the main thing I kept feeling was, well, I was truly protected. I was truly protected, you know, and I felt truly sovereign and truly protected. I still, in fact, experienced a bit of fear, still experienced like intimidation, but the actual experience was very pleasant. There was no negativity to it. There was no huge negative outcome. It felt as highest timeline as it could have been,
Yeah,
regardless of the fact there was still some fear in the situation.
absolutely.
Definitely the most highest version of that experience it could have been at. And I recognise that, and I guess that instilled some level of rewiring of, okay, this might be still a bit scary, but you were still safe and you were still sovereign. And that was still something that again, a recognition and a reclamation of, we can't ever fully get rid of the fear. Maybe there's still always going to be some human reactions to some things, you know, in
Sure.
small ways. Maybe that's not the intention, but we can reclaim how our body responds after that moment, you know, and where his thoughts go and where his body goes. And like you say, how is my nervous system dealing with that, looping back to that, because truly it's all down to that. I'm learning so much about my body as we're prepping for this next retreat, because it's the way we're going to be delivering it. And yeah, truly, the mind, body, soul, I've kind of never used the word master, but in the human sense, I feel like I've clocked that one. Like I understand the programs there, but integrating the deep relevance and the dictatorship of the nervous system and how that dictates the show. And if you are not getting to the root of that, all the other work that you're doing is fantastic and it is unraveling layers, but it's not getting to the roots. And so then all combined, that's where the true magic is. And yeah, I'm really glad you brought up that power dynamic, because and the nervous system, because I do think it needs to be spoken about. And it's not just in authority, you know, it's in relationships. I'm seeing it in schools with students, you know, and colleges and workplaces and God, you know, just everywhere. I'm feeling this
Yeah.
like
This.
ego.
Yeah.
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 You know, like a not nice peacock that's puffing the feathers, like
Oh no, it's like it's a bit
trying
of
to
a
get
fight
in your
energy.
face. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's not nice, and it feels intentionally intimidating. Not that I'm allowing it to be, but it feels like that's the intention behind it.
Hi, everybody. I hope you enjoy the content and the immersive co-creative processes with others. I have a question for you. What would it be like to fully trust your own perspective, your intuition, all of that beautiful insight that you've gathered over time, all of the healing work that you've done, all the interpersonal deep work that you've done? If you could fully trust that and feel that in your system, walk it without hesitation, without not making the right decision, without stopping yourself, without sabotaging yourself, what would that feel like? And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, please click on links below and keep it weird.